dad kept swinging the bar to block being hit by the wrench. The pair of them kept going until they reached the stores. I then saw swing the wrench, and it hit my dad's left arm, which caused him to drop the metal bar. As my father went to bend down to retrieve the bar, swung his head on the right side of... went down to retrieve the bar, swung and hit my dad on the right side of his head with his full force. My dad did not fall to the floor. He stayed standing, and I approached him and shouted, "Are you okay?" My dad said, "I didn't feel it." Continued to swing the bar, and my dad continued to block it, but he could not get the wrench off. Started to get tired and gave up and stopped swinging the wrench. Then lowered the wrench and said to my dad, "Get him to remove the posts." I felt the instant had calmed down enough for me to go and buy cigarettes for my friend. I then left my dad and talking. Yeah. Is there anything else you wish to add about that? Is any of this statement false?
All of it.
All of
the majority of it, yeah, except for me like backing up into the street, because that did happen, but that's because I was the one that was being attacked.
Okay. Is there anything else you wish to add?
No, I'd like that. Well, just point out that they dropped in a couple of little truths about the post and that, yeah, about what I said. Yeah, they're trying to mix. I don't know, man. They've thrown in a couple of things, like they mentioned the posts that I was on about.
All right. No problem. So this is it's all recorded. Don't worry about that. Everything you've said is all recorded. All right. This is senior. So, would you like me to read the entire statement as well?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, I am the above named person, and my address resides at Leith. On Sunday, the 10th of November 2019, at approximately 20:50 hours, my adult son, Hillman Jr., left the house to attend the local shop to buy cigarettes. When my son goes to the shops, I watch over him from my front garden to ensure that he is safe. The shop is approximately 100 yards from my house. The weather conditions were dark and only dimly lit by streetlights. Despite this, I still watched. As he reached the roadside to walk to the shop, he saw a person whom I know to be Rix Mace, who was walking down the hill. Rix Mace is an alias for... Okay, so what they've said here is that as he was walking to the shop, he's seen you walking down the hill. He wears glasses and has a baldish head. He has dark skin and believes him to be mixed race. I saw he was dressed all in dark and was wearing a jacket. Okay. Was you dressed all in dark on the night?
Yeah, I was.
Were you walking down the hill when he saw you?
No. Unlocked their door, man.
Okay. At this moment, I ran towards my son. I saw my son run back towards me, running as fast as he could. He looked scared, which caused me to feel concerned and protective of my son. He continued running back towards me, shouting, "Dad, Rix Mace is here, running at me." I could see him running after my son. He was carrying a weapon of some sort. It appeared to be some sort of ball attached to the end of a screwdriver, almost like a gear stick. It was dark red in colour. I then ran to the outside of my garden to the gate and saw my son running towards our house. My son then ran past me and confronted and closed the gap between us to protect my son. I continued running towards myself and swung the object towards my head. I backed off and tried to kick him in the chest, but this only caught his jacket lightly. Is any of this true?
No.
Okay. He then continued trying to hit my head, at which point my son brought a metal bar out to me to defend myself. The metal bar is a hollow pipe with perforated holes in it.
No, I like to point out that, yeah, they're admitting to them using a weapon against me. It wasn't a hollow pipe. It was a dense, heavy metal chrome bar. Yeah, and it was, like I said, 2.5 feet long, chrome, a slight bend in it when I saw it, brought from the front door, used by him on me, and it's got my DNA on it. That's the bar that he's talking about.
Okay. Myself and continued fighting, at which point the bar fell to the floor. I saw it hit the floor and attempt to reach for it. I bent down, at which point it was alleged to have hit me to the head with the object he was holding. I did not feel an impact and did not notice that I had been hit. I did not see him hit me. Is any of this correct in your...
No.
In your mind? Okay. I looked back up at him and stood. I said to him, "I don't need any weapon. Put your hands down and fight me like a man." Did that happen?
Sorry, what was that? Sorry, I didn't get that last bit.
So, as he's reaching down for this bar, He says, I looked back up at him and stood. I said to him, I don't need any weapon. Put yours down and fight me like a man.
So as he reached down for a bar,
Yeah.
he said, I don't need a weapon.
Yeah.
Put your hands up and fight like a man.
Put your weapon down and fight me like
So-
a man. Yeah. He's looked up at you, so he's on the floor, about to reach for this bar.
So he's got a bar,
He's-
telling me to fight like a man. Is that what he's saying? He's
He's
picking
saying
up a weapon.
The bar's on the floor.
Uh-huh.
He goes to reach down for the bar. He looks up at you and says, I don't need a weapon. He stands up. Put yours down and fight me like a man.
No, I didn't. For one, I didn't have a weapon. Two, he had the weapon. Yeah. He was attacking me. He didn't tell me to fight like a man because he was attacking me with a weapon. I didn't have one.
He did not reply to this and continued his attack on me, trying to swing for my head.
No.
Then said, I can see that you're a nice person. I'm a nice person. Can you just ask your son to take the Facebook post down and I'll leave it alone? Did that happen?
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah, pretty much something like that along the lines. Yeah, I did say, look, yeah, all I want is the, I was like just being there, like, look, just leave me alone. All I wanted to do is just take the Facebook. Just tell him to take the fucking Facebook post down. And I walked up the hill because we turned by then at the end of it.
Myself proceeded to talk about the Facebook post, to which I replied, why should I?
Yeah, why should he? Why should he tell his son to take these posts down of him, put in my address? Why should he?
So did he say, why should I?
I can't remember.
Okay. Then began backing off and walking left out of my street and up the hill. His last words were, could you please ask him to take it down?
Yeah.
They've not seen you since. Shortly after, police arrived at the door. He just says he doesn't wish to obtain medical treatment for the impact to his head, although he has been heavily advised to do so by police. It's not left him shaken up. He's just concerned for his son and is disappointed. The matter lasted for about 5 minutes, and he was in very close proximity to you. He would recognise you again. His visibility was good and unobstructed of his view of you. He is previously known to me due to his having a disagreement with Junior over a Facebook post, whereby he assaulted Junior on his doorstep. This matter has already been reported to police.
Okay.
So that is the statement. Statements. In regards to his turn of events, his tale of events, there, is it true in your mind, or
Nah, not the majority. No. Yeah.
just those minor details?
Just
about speech,
only
really?
minor details, and that's it.
All right. Okay, so this is the gentleman who works at Soft License. He says, basically, on the alleged dates and the alleged times, he doesn't want to give us any information, but he did state that the incident did not escalate to the area outside of his shop, as
Yeah, it
suggested
didn't
by
really
Junior.
it didn't go to outside his shop.
Yeah.
It ended up in the middle of the street outside the man's shop. I don't think it wasn't anywhere near
Yeah.
the shop.
He confirms that it doesn't reach out to his CCTV cameras. I've had a look personally at the view that his CCTV camera does give, and it would not come close unless you had actually gone to the shop.
Yeah.
And then all of the neighbours said they hadn't heard or seen anything all night, and they'd been at home all night, and their daughter hasn't heard anything. Everyone has said they haven't heard or seen anything all night. Okay,
Okay.
and they've all been in during the alleged time. That is all of the evidence, information, and anything else that I have regarding this investigation. Essentially, you've stated that you've gone there to request him to take the Facebook post down after some other events having taken place, some allegations over the internet. He's been difficult at the door, refused to do so. Junior's then come down behind his father and started hitting out at you. They both have been assaulting you.
Yeah. No, the dad hit me first.
The dad grabbed you, didn't he?
Yeah.
So you've then fallen down the stairs and backed off around the bushes at the bottom of the steps.
Yeah.
The steps outside the front garden. And
At which point that the dad got the bar then somehow. He
Yeah.
must have been given the bar.
and he's pursued you through the street to the left towards the shop, but
Yeah.
not to the
Well,
shop.
it's like if you're facing his dad, it's the house is to the right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. And essentially, you've de-escalated the situation by trying to talk about it. They've still refused to take down a Facebook post.
Yeah.
At which point, you've left and said that you're going to press charges for
Yeah.
burglary and.
And I sustained a thumb injury, which was now left with a scar,
Yeah.
and that's what my that's where my blood came from.
Yeah.
If that bar is found.
No problem. I've got everything I need for now. Okay. Thank you for your account there. I'll be in. Oh, we've got to pause this now. I've got to stop. Right. So it is 10:56. Okay. On the 7th of January, and I am stopping this recording now. Okay.
Yeah.